Keep your hands on your heart. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue to the palate. Keep your spine straight. Hmm? Take a deep breath. Salutation to Universal Supreme Being. Salutation to Divine Father, Divine Mother. We, the souls, humbly invoke for the divine blessings, divine healing energy, divine help, and divine protection. Thank you for your priceless blessings. Thank you for this wonderful healing energies. Thank you for everything what you have given to us. With thanks and in full faith. Salutation to your Guru, if you have any Guru. Salutation to Grandmaster Chwapoxy, Lord Maha Guruji, mailing all the great patrons. Salutation to Holy Master DK. Salutation to Master Moria. Salutation to Christ. Salutation to Buddha. Salutation to Sanat Kumara. All the Nirmal Kayas, all the great beings, the entire hierarchy, we bow down onto you. We, the souls, humbly invoke for your divine blessings, divine healing energy, divine help, and divine protection. Thank you for your priceless blessings. Thank you for guiding us through this wonderful session of goal settings, of making our understanding better on law of karma, of forgiveness, of inner transformation. Thank you. Thank you for blessing us with divine light and divine love. Thank you for blessing us with good health, happiness, spirituality, prosperity, and abundance. Thank you for blessing us with clarity of mind. Thank you. With thanks and in full faith. So be it, so be it, so be it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath. Keep your hands on the lap. Just mentally affirm that you are not the body. You are a being of light coming straight away from the God. You are tapping into infinite potential which you have in you, which comes from the God. You are the source of this infinity. You are one of the smallest part of this infinity, which becomes an infinite in our own self. Yes, we are the soul. We are super receptive, super connected at all the levels. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mentally affirm, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Take a deep breath. Slowly open your eyes with a big smile. Yeah. So let us start with this session. So I do have a few things to say. Okay. Okay. So there are few things which are required for the goal setting. Okay. First and foremost, I hope everyone has a new book. Okay. Can you show me your new book which you have right now? Just show on the screen. Just the book. Cool, cool. People have very nice books. Good, 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 good. Good. That's nice. Okay. So, first rule of this book is that this book shouldn't be blank throughout the year. Okay, that is the first rule. Okay, so write it down. Write it down. The rule number one: this book by end of the year should be full. Write it down. That is your goal number one. I'm also writing, guys. Yeah. So now let us understand few things and few aspects of our life. Okay. There is a reason why all of us are here together to discuss few things related to goal setting. Many a times there are few goals which are in alignment, which happens. There are a lot of times when few goals are not in alignment and it doesn't happen. So I have given this example of someone whom I know. He's a very close relative of mine. So that person, when he was 24, so let's go back. When he was 19, he did his diploma in civil engineering. Okay. I'm talking about 80s and 90s, okay, right now. I'm talking about late 80s. He completed his diploma in civil engineering from somewhere in a very hermit place in certain village, okay. And after that, he had a dispute with his family and he ran away from that place, okay. And he came to Bombay. He came for what? He came to search new job opportunities and everything. So at the age of 19, he completed that. He did a job in Surat for some amount of time. And then he came to Bombay. Okay. So when he came to Bombay, he was alone. He was 22 years old and he had nothing. He just had 140 rupees, as I was told by him. And he is a very genuine person, so he doesn't lie. Okay. As far as I know. So his journey started. He started searching for a lot of work and a lot of job. The only part which was very different for him was that none of his relatives were successful in his life, in their life. Okay. None of his friends were ever successful, or people didn't see money. And back in that day, the basic necessity of food, clothing, shelter was also a problem. I'm talking about that part. And when this guy, he came up to Bombay with a vision. Bombay is known as city of dreams. He had a dream, but he didn't know what to do. The dream was to wear good clothes, to have a nice car, to have a decent house, and whole society should respect him. Okay, that was his dream. Why? Because entire his life he has worn all the clothes given by his cousins because his parents never bought him a new pair of clothes. Okay, the books were also old. Everything what he used was old. So he had that kind of trauma inside him, not exactly trauma, but because of that particular thing happening in his life, his goal to have was to wear good new clothes. It is not expensive, okay? It is like good clothes. So good clothes might be, I'm not talking about Versace or something like that. I'm talking about when you go to a tailor and you have a stitched pair of a cloth, like stitched pair. And that has a very more importance to a lot of people in their life. So he had those goals and he started his journey. Interestingly, what happened is at the age of 23, he started a construction company. Okay. So that construction company was taking care of roads. So under a contractor, the contractor used to pay to the government and he used to take that tender from that person and he used to build the roads on the name of the contractor. So that is how usually the roads are made in India. Okay. I'm talking about early 90s now. It might be the year of 1993 or 1994. He started with that. There were first project was successful. He earned almost 20,000 rupees in that project, and he was very happy to that. And he bought himself a pair of clothes and everything, and he was very happy. At that moment, he was offered a job from Public Welfare Department, that is PWD. So that's a very high level job of a junior engineer. And then after 5 years, he was going to be a senior engineer because of his work. He rejected. Why? Because he wanted to become a big person. That is what he said to me. And I was like, okay. I thought it might be a bad decision for him because after that, the next project what he took up, in that project, something went wrong. And a person who was working for him, the laborer, he died on the spot while constructing the road. So what happened is the person who had filled the tender and everything, he did like this. He's like, I don't know this person, and this happened with him because of him. Then his company had to take care of everything. This company earned 20,000, among which he had spent 6,000. He was left with 14,000. And he had to pay the laborer's family almost 50,000. So now he's already in a debt. He took money from somewhere and he gave. So then he started his journey. He had to close the company. Okay. So that was the first thing what came to his mind. The second thing was he started supplying raw materials to construction companies. So you need cement and you need sand and all those kind of things. So he started with that. That didn't go pretty well because everything was on credit and he suffered a loss of more than 5 lakhs. Okay. Now he's in Bombay for more than 4.5 years and he is sinking in debt. What would be your perception when something like that happens in your life? And by the way, he's still not in contact with his parents. He's still not in contact with any of his relatives. His relatives and his parents think that he has eloped. He has gone somewhere, and none of them they even not bothered to search for him back in that day because people had many kids. Doesn't matter if one is missing. That was the mentality back in that day. He was really upset with this part. And then for lunch, he used to have one vada pav. And for dinner, he used to eat chana, sing chana. There's this thing for Bombay, like we snack on sing chana every now and then. You find that everywhere in Bombay. So he used to eat that and go to sleep. He used to drink about 2 glasses of water after that and go to sleep. He was in debt. Because of that reason, all the bhai logs and all the gundas of Bombay started harassing him. So what he did is he befriended them. And then he was now still at a question that what should he do? Because this RCC project didn't work, that tender project also didn't work. But he wanted to do something related to construction. And then he saw an opportunity of becoming a consultant, a civil engineer consultant. Then he became a consultant and started his life. Okay. So he had two falls. And after that, he started his life. And in 1998, he was again betrayed by his friends, which he made in Bombay. He paid money and everything to a person for buying a house, buying a property of one room kitchen in Bombay, which was going to be his first property. And the person eloped with the money. The person didn't give it to the broker, eloped with that money. And he didn't even give any of that share to the builder. So builder has no clue. There was no registration done. And the paperwork and everything was very on, like it is there right now. It was not that strict back in that day. He was left again with zero money. On top of that, he was already married and he had a kid of 3 years old whom he had to take care. Understand his situation right now. There were two things which he did diligently in his life. First was thinking big, always. He has no addictions, he has nothing, but he always thought big. And the second part was interestingly, he did his spiritual practices regularly, irrespective of whatever is going to come. He did his spiritual practices for 2.5 hours every day in the morning, and that was kind of a mandatory thing for him. Just like you brush your teeth, he used to do that. And he didn't stop. There was one point in 1999 when he was going to break. And at that point, he told his wife that if this doesn't work, all this, there was a small temple shrine kind of thing which he made in his house. I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw that in the river. From that day, like he told that from today, if this doesn't happen, then I'm not coming back to faith at all. He had that kind of frustration built up on him. But that day, the meetings went well. He got a job and he started working. He worked for 2 years there. And then another party found out about him. And he was very good in terms because the previous experiences of Gunda logs and all the Bhai logs in Bombay, he made a befriended with them. So when a builder had a problem with Bhai logs, he used to be called, although he's an engineer. Then he used to do the settlement. And because of that, he started earning. And because of that, he started building his name in the market. And in the year 2004, he got a huge break. So from rags to riches was his story. A person who he was earning 800 rupees per month. He went from 800 rupees per month to 6 lakhs rupees per month in the year 2004. success takes time. There were a lot of times when he thought that he should go back to his village and he'll do farming and he'll settle down there. A lot of times where he was broken down, he was betrayed by his friends. He is still, I know that person very closely, he is still alone in his life. He does not have good friends. So I asked him that you don't have any good friends. And he knows all of my friends. And he's like, Janmesh, you are blessed with good friends. You should count that as a blessing. I'm like, why? I think everyone has good friends. But then when he told me his story, I realized not everyone is so blessed to have good friends. I was like, okay. And then he also told me that not everyone is blessed to have good cousins and even good family. And then later on, I realized, oh, it's interesting. So why I am talking about this? The first and foremost things about our life is that we are not aware about our blessings itself. I'm not asking you to feel gratitude on daily basis on the same things. Like, thank you, God, for giving me two eyes, one nose, good amount, 32 teeth, if those are intact, two hands, two legs, and all those things. You count your blessings in such a way that you feel something intense, kind of a bliss or kind of love from inside. That is the first and foremost thing comes in the play, and that is gratitude. So when I say gratitude, there are a lot of things which come in your mind. There are a lot of people who are doing gratitude meditation, gratitude practice, and all those things. There is no requirement of that. They are doing, might be good, might be not good. I don't care. I'm asking you to have your own faith and have your own journey towards gratitude, towards generating this part of gratitude. By the way, gratitude is key for spiritual evolution. If you feel gratitude, okay, I shouldn't be saying that, but one of the centers, one of the chakras of the system of all this, that chakra is responsible for his spiritual evolution, grows because of gratitude, because of respect and gratitude. And that is very, very, very important. So write down this part, just write gratitude and leave 2 pages in the book. Because you are going to meditate on the word gratitude, have your own definition. Don't go to Chat GPT or Google. Just write it down, a definition in your words whenever you have time. For now, just write gratitude and leave 2 pages. Done? Now, let's go to another aspect of manifestation or, setting goals. Okay. And that is law of karma. So, what do you mean by law of karma? So, on this page, you write law of karma and leave that page. You have to have your own definitions of law of karma for now. Turn the page, and I want you guys to do something. In the big bold letters, right? Top, law of karma. It should be like this: law of karma, desires, and action. Write in one part desires and one part action. Draw a line in between if you want. This technique is done by me for a couple of years and it is verified by me. That's the reason I'm telling you guys to practice this. This technique I have learned from my mentor, Mr. Dinesh Patel, who is a senior instructor in Bombay. Okay. So this is his technique, by the way. And he told me to do it because I was not very grateful or I was not feeling enough gratitude towards spirituality, towards my life. So because of that, he told me to do this. So in the desires, write down what do you desire in terms of if I look at your life. So let's say you desire smile, you know, you desire smile. You want people to smile at you, not laugh at you, smile. Please, please be very, very wise in terms of choosing words. Okay. Smile. Second, write down respect. It's good, right? When people give you respect, isn't it right? So let us look at this part. So desire is smile and respect. So what will be the action? To smile at everybody and to respect everybody. Okay, that is action. So this is a very crisp thing. It makes sense. But now the twist is, when I say action, action does not mean only in terms of the way you behave. It means in thoughts, in words, and physically, all three times. So when I say, when I look at Mr. Bhaskar, I smile. So if I'm smiling, how would I smile? In that moment of my contact of smile, everything is lost. I'm just looking at his eyes and I am smiling. Thoughts, words, action. All three of them is only smiling. Be very mindful about this part. This is where you are going to learn how to do self-reflection, how to learn. Law of karma is nothing but a law of empowerment. If you master law of karma, your life is going to change. The process might be slow for few people, but it changes. I can tell you because I have done it, and I can actually see the results. Now let us talk about the respect part. So when I say respect, what do you think about respect? First, you always, when I say that there is some word called as smile or respect, you think. You think, what does respect mean to you? And also think why you want respect. So when I say why you want respect, there will be a lot of people who will say that is because since childhood I was not given enough credit because of so many things, because of my low self-esteem. I want respect. I want people to treat me well, and things like that. It's fine. There might be some traumas and everything, but for now, for at present, we are talking about respect. Then be very clear. You want respect? Okay, fine. So when I talk about action part, whom are you going to respect? Think about it. Okay. You want respect from whom? From your parents, from your loved ones, from your siblings, or your spouse, or someone like that who is very close to you, right? First and foremost thing you have to start respecting is everybody, including yourself. That is more important. Why? There is a constant need for a person to rely on external validation if internally the person is not stable. And hence, you have to give in order to receive. Many a times you can follow both ways. Okay, both ways. So when I talk about this part of respecting self, many a times we cannot respect our own self because of the things what we have done. It's fine. Then don't be very worked up on that part. If you cannot respect yourself, it's fine. Start with respecting others. Think externally what you can do. And if you start respecting others, from the rickshawalas, from the bhaiyas, from the vegetable vendors, from everybody, including your house help, including your loved ones, including even person who is younger to you. Okay, you have to pay respect, and that's the reason you will start getting that respect after 2 months or 3 months from everyone, because we are doing two things. First, we are smiling, and second is we are respecting. So that is why many people will be lightened up. Their soul lights up the moment they see you. You have to be that kind of a person. I'm not saying to make amends with everyone. I'm just asking you to give something because you are entitled to receive. So for you to receive, you have to first give. It is like mutual funds. First you invest and then you receive, right? In 2002, the mutual fund was very low. And now, 2025, the mutual fund is very high. So I cannot withdraw unless and until I had not put in some amount, right? The law of karma is same principle. It is like जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, what what you sow, so shall you reap. All those kind of things. It is very simple, simply given, but fairly misunderstood by everyone. And law of karma is also law of manifestation in some manner. Was it too much for you? No, right? This is the truth, what I'm saying. Now, when I'm talking about respect, self, forget about it for now. Give others respect. And then write in bold words, do not expect respect from others. You are not going to expect anything. You are not going to even expect a smile, even if you are not getting it. It's fine. Write it down. Do not expect this back, even from not the person and not even from anybody else. The way higher beings, hierarchy, and the gods function is completely different. Okay. So when I talk about relationships here, when I talk about forgiving, first you have to forgive. Okay. So when I talk about forgiving, a lot of people are messaging me still that let us do some forgiveness sessions and all these things. If you know what is forgiveness, today is what date? 22nd April. Okay. Today is 22nd April. I'm going to teach you what is forgiveness now. Okay. And from today itself, from 22nd April 2025 till any time in the future, there should not be a single new person in your forgiveness list. That is when you have learned forgiveness. If every time when someone hurts you, you have to sit, you have to visualize them, you have to say, I am the soul, you are the soul, you bless, it, visualize them going away. If this process is going to continue, you are doing what you are doing is nonsense. It's mechanical, it's waste of time. You have to have that perception. The forgiveness should happen in action. Interestingly, I came across something today itself while I was reading a book on theosophy. So, according to Holy Master DK, he says that forgiveness, the synonym or the meaning of the forgiveness is to give for. That's it. To give for. And I was like, yeah, I understood. Then what? Then he says, forgiveness is nothing but sacrifice. It is the spirit of sacrifice of your own self, which you withdraw from self and offer it to the higher beings. When I say that, it actually makes sense for me more right now. So when I say about forgiveness, there is something inside me which is pinching right now, okay? Because I'm not able to forgive. So what I do is I remove that pinch, I offer it to the great ones, or I offer it to anything. I remove it. I try to remove it. I transmute that energy of very gross energy, transform that to very subtle form and let go. Okay. Sacrifice is not a bad word. It's a nice word. You are constantly sacrificing. The problem is your definition of sacrifice is nonsense, including the dictionary definitions of sacrifice. When I say sacrifice, sacrifice anger, sacrifice hatred, sacrifice laziness, sacrifice foolishness, sacrifice impulsive behaviors, sacrifice all those energies which are preventing you from achieving your goals. To sacrifice is to grow. This is the truth. And when I say that to sacrifice is to grow, it has a lot of levels of truth. Understand this very clearly. That is what the golden rule and law of karma is about. Now, let's take this example. This example we have discussed in the GI session also. Okay. So if someone, X person took money from me and I'm in need for money and the person is not returning my money back. So I started cursing the person. I started getting angry and all those things on that person. Okay. Maybe that person is not capable right now to give my money back. But because of that constant nagging, the person does not even wish to return my money right now. That is what happens. So whenever you are asking for money, look at the way you are asking. It is not, it is never ever your money or someone else. Money is kind of a energy which is like a water, which flows from a person to another person. Simple. Sometimes it flows very fast and very high intensity to your life, and many a times the way it flows in high intensity, it goes also in high intensity. It is never a problem to be a rich person. There is never a problem to be a very rich person. The problem starts when you want to sustain that. The problem starts when you want to acquire more. The problem starts when every other aspect of your life is imbalanced, including the relationships, including your physical health, including your emotional health, including your mental health. For so many people, you have to deceive. Understand this. This is why law of karma is very important. So it is moreover like what my mentor used to tell me is you bought a seed, okay, and you went away. Then you go second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, you started. There are a few seeds which didn't sprout. And you went to those seeds and started yelling on top of your voice. Why didn't you sprout? I am providing you with fertilizers, I'm providing you with everything, but still you're not sprouting. Is that going to help you? No. What is going to help you? To ignore them because there are few seeds. It does not make sense to lose $100 here by ignoring more $1,000, which is standing. The crop is ready to be harvested. And hence, the God says, or like the Karma Siddhanta, and like there are a lot of scriptures which says that when something comes to you, you do something. So don't expect it from someone. You be very open. You can get anything from anywhere, any opportunity from anywhere by the grace of God. That is law of karma. Interesting, right? So why I'm discussing this part is because many of you have a lot of desires, has a lot of goals. You want to do a lot of things. You want to achieve a lot of things in your life. But when I ask you a simple question, that why do you want to do that? Your answer to that is very, 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 very mortal, very low. Why? There is no higher level of truth or higher level of answer to it. Like when I so there is this person recently he was calling me and we were discussing some things. So he wanted to, and because of him I planned the session, and of course we did a lot of announcement, but he specifically told me that let's have some session regarding this part because I want help and everything, in this session. I'm like, why do you want? He's like, because I my money is stuck and the money is like a huge amount and I want it back. I'm like, okay, we'll figure something out. We'll do some healings and we'll do some energy work. We'll do something out. Then no, I want money back from that person only. I'm like, why? Because then he said, because my great grandfather helped his great grandfather to achieve what he has done right now. I'm like, nonsense. You are still stuck on generational things. There is property disputes, there are so many things, and many a times what happens is there are two facets of this. Okay, there are two sides of the same coin. I'll give you this example. This example is also from not exactly my family but someone whom I know. So there were three brothers. Okay, all three of them were very so their dad was very prosperous, very very prosperous. During that time their dad contributed to non-cooperation movement of India. He was one of the person who funded non-cooperation movement of India. Do you like, can you imagine what kind of scale we are talking right now? So he gave money to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in Gujarat, and he was that kind of a person and who started everything, and his name is there in the books and everything. So he had three sons, and the way three sons were, they were like 7 years age gap. So the elder one and the younger one had 14 years of age gap. It was like that. So the problem here came in that generation because he was a huge zamindar, and he had almost more than 1,000 acres of land. And those acre of land, which was like farming land, I'm talking about agricultural land, and 200 acres of quarry. If you guys know what is quarry, it is where you have a machinery which breaks down stones, which is used in construction. So he had 200 acres of quarry, I mean the whole property like that, and 1,000 acres of agricultural land. So what happened is the middle child betrayed his elder brother and younger brother both. Okay. He took out almost 500 acres of the farmland for himself. And then he suffered. He suffered a lot. Okay. In terms of his health, in terms of his kids not talking to him, his kids were not adopted, but his kids started staying with other two guys. That was his brothers. They stopped talking to their own father because of some reasons. The elder brother was very smart and he let go of that particular thing. And he's like, okay, it's fine, you are doing that, but I'm going to take an action on you. And the elder brother told him that, okay, you have to do this, this, this. If you are not doing that, we are going in Sarpanch Panchayat. The younger one didn't do anything. The younger one is like, okay, I don't want any share and I'm going. And so he went away. The elder brother took that particular thing in a very high level, you can say sophisticated type of justice. And that justice happened. And he told that because the entitlement is for us to have the property, we are going to have. They had the property. Okay. Now, here the problem is the elder one got its share. Okay. He wanted this share also for the younger brother, but younger brother didn't reciprocate at all with him. The younger brother was like, it's our brother only. We should not do this and stuff. So then the elder brother told to younger brother. Elder brother was very, very spiritual. Okay. He has made a good amount of spiritual progress in this lifetime. He's right now not in body, but he did some good things. His words were that you are the one to the youngest brother, that because of you, you gave an opening and an opportunity for your elder brother to generate bad karmas. You could have taken your stand. You could have taken the things you were entitled to. But because you didn't fight for that, your life, look at your life, what you are. And among three brothers, youngest brother was always poor. His family didn't even have money to eat food. I'm talking about Zamindar's son becoming so poor. So I wanted to discuss this story because here you learn two things. Many a times you have to take a stand, but be detached with that part. Okay. Many a times you forgive and forget. That's fine, but always take an action. And if it is not manifesting, if it's not coming to line where relationships are going to break, then you can let go. But even if you let go, you have to do smart things. You cannot be a fool. You cannot trust people like that. You cannot trust your even own blood, own siblings. You have to have your own things. This own will define your individuality, will define the way you are going to manage money. God also takes exams in different form. These are your life lessons. So if you are not able to absorb that amount of money, you are not able to sustain that amount of money, it will be taken away from you. So if I give you 5 CR rupees, okay, every one of you guys have 5 CR right now in the account. I'm damn sure within 3 years of time, 99% of you guys will be back to the square one where you started. Why? Because you won't be able to digest the energy. People will ask money from you, you will give it. There are always people who are going to ask money from you, and you still give it. You should not. There are some things which belong to you. You should not. And when you don't give money, that's a sign for your compassion also, because you want that person to arrange money from somewhere else, not from someone else, somewhere else, where the person might develop his or her skill to earn. That is how it works. If you provide like this an easy money, you won't help the person to evolve. Similarly, Guru gives you everything. All the techniques are at disposal. Okay. I think whatever things are given by GMCKS, they are literally spoon fed it us. Okay. And still, if we are suffering, it is our problem. He has given us so much and he wants us to evolve. And if he doesn't see that reciprocating from our side, somewhere down the line, we are not doing justice to him. And by not doing justice is also a form of an injury, not to self, by the way. So you have to take a lot of decisions in your life with respect to others, with by taking confidence to others. And that is where this term of sacrifice comes in play. You have to compromise on a lot of grounds in your life. You have to sacrifice a lot of things in your life. By sacrifice, I do not mean to say a physical sacrifice. I'm talking about emotional and mental sacrifice. Because you didn't want people to feel so sad or you didn't want them to be injured, you stopped. You evolved. You were honest, but you were compassionate. That is when the growth starts happening. With that respect, now you have to write down that how you want your life to be. That is what you are going to write in the desire, how you want your life to be. And then have an action plan for everything. Each of the things should have a detailed action plan. I'll tell you this example. So I started like practicing the respect part, and I started practicing, you can say, non-injury to some extent, mental non-injury. So mentally, I used to criticize a lot, but then I started practicing this both, and I continued for more than 4 years. Okay, I didn't see much changes in people or something like that. And then 2 years back, I went to a place. Okay, I was traveling in. I was on airport. I went to Bombay airport, and there was Dorja in my handbag. Okay, and there was a huge disintegrator crystal in my handbag. So, for your information, it is not allowed to carry that crystal in handbag. And something happened and I forgot it. Okay. But rules are rules, right? I'm very serious with some things, and those are rules. So I went there and I was like that. I have a flight right now. I cannot, like, I don't want this crystal to be here right now. I cannot ask anyone to pick up from the airport and everything. Okay. So I was thinking in my head. So that guy looked at me and what he said, where are you going now? I told him that I'm going to Dharamkot. I'm going to Dharamshala because I have some work. He's like, you're going to Dharamshala? You're going to meet Dalai Lama. I'm like, yeah, Dalai Lama is going to give the last sermon. I'm going to be there. He just looked at me and like, are you a healer? I'm talking about the guy who is dressed up as a CISF Jawan. He asked me this, are you a healer? I'm like, yes. And he looked at me, you are not only healer, right? I mean, no, I'm also a doctor. And I had that conversation with him. And then he took me to his boss, not for complaining, just for this conversation. I had that conversation for 15 minutes with his boss, and his boss did pranic healing. Simple. Okay. And he allowed me with disintegrator and with Dorza and everything because Dorza is pretty heavy to be more precise. He's like, if you just put this in someone's head, then what happens? I said, enlightenment and moksha happens together. They started laughing. And so that's how things happened to me. And I was like, okay, let's go ahead with that. After that, I arrived on the airport and I booked an Uber. I arrived in Delhi airport and I booked an Uber. And I was like, okay, let's book an Uber. Uber was not being booked and something was happening wrong and everything. So a person came to me and he just looked at me and he's like, where you want to go? Out of random, I never go with someone, especially in Delhi. In spite of being male, I have heard things about Delhi, and I was like, no, man, I cannot go. And it was 2 a.m. at night. Like, I don't know what's wrong and what happened. So that guy was not a taxi driver. He was a guy, like, like a proper, he was an animal rescuer because he was carrying a dog. And I was like, what happened? He's like, this happened. So I helped the dog also. I did some healing and I also taped it and other things. So he took me to the place where I was heading in Delhi. And then we just talked. And I told him that I'm planning to go Himachal. He said, are you planning? I'm like, tomorrow maybe. So he told me that tomorrow he is also heading to Himachal. And I got a free ride to Himachal. That was when my faith in law of karma started building up. This was what I'm talking is 2.5 years back, or little more than that. And then I have spent an entire month in, not entire, more than that in Himachal. So when that particular incident happened, I realized that we have always been divinely protected. And we always meet right people. Why? Because from inside, you always have a right intention. So now you write in bold your intention. Write it down. Your intention supersedes your action. Write down that in bold words. So when I talk about that intention, so what do you think what intention is? It is by cumulating everything, like in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your words, in terms of your action, the intention behind everything should be pure. And how to develop that pure intention is by doing 3 hours meditation, by doing grid invocation, but by being self-aware and being mindful about everything what you are doing. Be very mindful about the things what you say. Be very mindful about the criticism what you do, even to politicians, even to the different things and different aspects. The smallest amount of criticism I'm talking. So there was this kind of an action which I used to not, which was very injurious to a species, and that's cockroach. So cockroach normally is something which does not affect me at all. It's fine. Like I'm very peace with all the kinds of insects and animals on this planet. But when the moment cockroach starts flying, I am the most envious person on this planet. Why? There are two reasons. First, cockroach can survive a nuclear attack. First and foremost reason. Cockroach can survive a nuclear attack. Second, it can also fly. I was so envious about that part. And then the Jadu becomes a baseball racket, and I used to do this. Of course, I was very young and I used to do all this kind of stupidity. But then I consciously withdrawed myself from doing that kind of stupidity. And also, I used to crack jokes a lot. Most of the time, those were insulting jokes or sarcasm, to be more precise. But then I also worked on it, and then I realized humor can be pure, or humor can be very clean. So when that came to my life, and I was like, okay, life can be also humorous, but we can balance it out. That does not matter. So now, when I say about intention, how can you improve your intentions? So with love. So as we know this fact, okay, that forgiveness is might be some form of love. Now, forgiveness means sacrifice. Now you are clear with this part. So what does that mean? That love is sacrifice. If you love someone, you can sacrifice your limitations for that. Okay. God is all loving. We see that. That means God also sacrifices a lot of things for us. A guru is all loving to us. That means guru sacrifices a lot of things for us. Understand that. That is when your eyes will be opened towards all these kind of things. Unless and until you don't know or you don't understand that your quality of life, your lifestyle should be changed with spirituality. If I ask you what changes have you done in your life, forget about spreading the word, forget about spreading pranic healing, teaching people twin hearts. We don't want to see those numbers and those things. Let's not discuss that. Let's just discuss what changes have you been doing in with your life. There are a lot of you guys who have been stuck for past 6 7 years at the same place, in spite of doing courses and classes. 2 days course, 2 days workshop can be transformatory when you are receptive. You are not receptive. What to do? The seeds have been sown in you, but still you are not receptive towards that. You are not letting the seeds to sprout. What to do? You have to analyze your life. You have to do the self-reflection. So with this part of understanding, let let us move ahead with this part. Why the understanding of this part of love is sacrifice and this is very important is because right now during this part of human evolution, only on this planet, that is only in our solar system, that is the law. So we are going to follow that law for law of karma. Okay. So now let me give you some insights regarding law of karma. So law of karma is has four lords. So many a times if you overheard the prayer that lords of karma, we salute you or we salute a divinity within you or something like that. So there are four lords of karma. Each of them has different purpose. One has a relationship, one has finances, something like that. Okay. And that has a bigger level of truth. And that karma has something to do with planetary evolution for your basic understanding. Okay. For planetary evolution, it has something to do with group consciousness of humanity, that is group human karma. And then there is the state karma. State karma means a country's karma, how the country has been oppressed by people or how countries were oppressing other people, something like that. So when you look at history, you will know that law of karma has always given justice. Simple. $33 trillion of wealth was taken away from India. In 2000, in World War II, Winston Churchill made certain decisions which led to more than 3 million people die, dying of starvation. Do you think it's justice of any sort? No, right? Look at UK right now. I'm not asking you to demean UK by any chance. I'm asking you that see, the countries also have their own karma. So problem is that we are too much attached with a specific country. No, I am this. So that nationalist ideology, when it goes to extremism, also generates negative karma. Awakening happening to people. Exactly. When I say you are an Indian, what do you mean you are an Indian? You belong to a place, your genes come, your genealogy, your parents, your ancestry belong to a place in southern subcontinent of Asia. It was Indian subcontinent. That is what it means. It does not define your race, religion, anything else. That's the reason you should understand and develop your perception regarding people first. Because when you understand and develop your perception regarding people, your intention becomes more pure. Many times, when you interact with people, you fear of being theft, you have fear of being betrayed. That's the reason why you don't let go of yourself. That's the reason there are a lot of people who share a lot of things just like that, you know but understand that you are not that person. You have to evolve, you have to know people, and then you go ahead. Similarly, this karma is also going to affect your life, starting from your family karma to your own karma. Okay. So there are higher levels of truth. And coming to something called as there is generational karma or crisis also. But now replace the word karma with life lessons. So there are some generational life lessons, there are some personal life lessons which you have to learn. Okay. So now I want you to set goals according to that. Write down the facets of goal setting. Okay. First, you write down, first and foremost, I think you guys have a lot of relationship problems. So first we'll do the relationship goal setting. Okay. Just write down a big heading of relationship. Okay. In the first part, you are going to write 6 months, next 6 months. Okay. Leave some space, write 1 year, leave some space, or you can write in another page directly, 3 years, leave some space, write 5 years. Okay. Understand this relationship. When I talk about that, there is a lot of karma associated with relationship. Okay. So let me ask you this particular question, that when I ask you that how do you think you can set goals of relationship? Or let me rephrase that question. What will be an action plan for achieving a relationship goal? Think about it. And there is only one word answer, and that is love. Cultivate more love inside. That is answer to all the relationships, all the problem relationships. Because law of attraction is also like that. So, for example, if relationship 6 months goal, I am writing that I want to attract a partner. Do you have enough love to attract partner? Think about that. Yes or no? You think if you are a male person and you see yourself, like if you are a female and you see yourself, would you date yourself? So when I say that would you date yourself? And even if you are married, so then you look at yourself and ask that would I still be married to this person? What action plan do you have for your married life? Or if you are in a relationship, then what action plans do you have for that? See, all the relationships are secondary. I like the relationship with your spouse or with your loved one, with if you are dating someone like that, it is very sacred. And that is second most important relationship to have in your life. The first will always be friends. That second most important part is where you are naked in front of that person. Understand what I'm saying. It is not physical. You are literally naked in front of that person with all your emotions, with all your thoughts, with all your limitation and hurdles, even your weaknesses. You are naked. You have to establish that kind of relationship with that person whom you are married to or whom you are dating or whom you are seeking to date. Simple. Now, you can write down the goals if you want right now, or we'll complete the entire section and then I'll give you some time to write down. Okay. So we'll do the second part first. Turn your page. We'll come to another part and write down physical body goals. Physical body goals. Think about it. Physical body for 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Okay. This is going to be a standardized thing. 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Only things what we are going to change is the finances. In financial goal, that will be different. Okay. So now, when I say about physical goals, then what should be your goals? Just think about it. So if I say that your physical body has sustained, so I used to set my physical goal a little bit differently. Like people used to have goals like their weight criteria or something like that. But I used to always have the goal as I used to do a lot of treks. So a lot of my friends who are attending the sessions, they know I'm a pain in a neck when it comes to trek because I'm always ready and I always not only go alone but trek all of my friends with me in spite of them screaming at top of their voice on the mountain while going up or not. I don't care, I still go. So I had that goal in my life, like now last time when I did a trek, I had prepared for a month. Okay, so in that 1 month my stamina is supposed to go from a certain thing to certain way. So like when I talk about the exercise of jump and jacks, okay, so I used to do jump and jacks 200 jump and jacks at a go. That was my goal. So my 1 month goal was that doing 200 jump and jacks at a stretch. Do that 3 times a day. Simple. While working, okay, like while working, you have to do. So that is one type of goal which I'm saying. So then think about it. If you have to run a mini marathon or like a marathon, suppose, okay, like 42 kilometers, if we say a complete marathon, if you want to run, 5 years goal, if it is that, then you have to complete at least 2 to 3 marathons before that. You have to run at least 42 kilometers at least 5 times before you go to an actual marathon, right? So you have to do a reverse planning for that particular goal. Now in physical, you have to also mention one particular thing. So you can mention regarding your weight or something like that. But what I would recommend is the action plan. And the action plan should be very sufficient. Like you should not put at least 100 activities like at a stretch. You are not going to do any of those. You are going to do 10 days and over. Simple. Now 5 years goal we'll focus. We'll do marathon 42 kilometers. We'll look at this book after 5 years. This happens for most of us. So then when I say physical body goals, your goals should be having a disease-free body. Have a checkup done on regular basis of CBC. Look at your LDL levels, look at your VLDL levels, look at your HDL levels. Your HDL levels will be increased when you are doing any amount of weight training or body weight training or some kind of intense yoga workout or something like that, the best exercise what you can do is yoga. Okay. So when I say yoga, yoga does not mean shavasana. It is something more than that. Okay. So please do not say, "Ah, yeah, I'm doing yoga." What you are doing? Shavasana. And pranayam. Like how? In Shavasana position, I'm doing pranayam. And then what do you do? I sleep in yoga nidra. Over. That is not yoga. Yoga means Iyengar yoga or Hatha yoga. I'm talking about that intense yoga or 45 minutes. You have to do at least thrice in a week. First and foremost goal for common everybody will be to protect your joints, and the goal is to do regular stretching. Write it down. You have to stretch yourself. If you are physically flexible or at least able to stretch, you will be mentally and emotionally also flexible. These are interrelated things. So you can have your goals with physical body, with respect to physical body. And do not put up your goals on a vision board where someone can see or something like that, because your house is a very small place or maybe very big place, but people go in and out and they look at the goal and they are like, "Heh, isse kya hoga?" All those kind of, we don't want those kind of thought forms. Because what happens is when that four or five people saying the vision board, like, isse nahi hoga, then you only say, "Oh, galti se likha hai maine." You know, that the transformation is different. You are manifesting, but very fast in a negative way. So we are not supposed to do that. So hence there are two goals which I always tell people to do. Is first is stretching, and other is a cardiovascular exercise, that is brisk walking. Okay, if you are walking regularly, then just stop walking regularly, do brisk walking regularly. That is, how fast can you walk? This is a standardized goal for everybody, and that is after waking up, within 3 hours of time, you have to do a brisk walking for 25 minutes at a stretch. Write it down. You have to do that. Why I'm saying, I'll come that to later part. Because you want to be prosperous. And the key to becoming prosperous is one of these exercises, what I'm telling you guys. If you want to do jogging, you are free to do jogging. But brisk walking, 25 minutes within 3 hours of waking up. No, 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 no. Swimming is later. Not swimming right now. Okay. That is very, very important, so that it moves few of the chakras of your body, because what you can do physically has greater amount of impact in terms of absorption of the prana. So when you are doing some exercises like this, stretch your don't start stretching without doing any warm up. Okay. So first, if you want, you can start 5 or 10 minutes walk, and then your body is little warm. Then you do stretching, or else you are going to have a good kind of plans with your physiotherapist and occupational therapist and all the yoga instructors and massage therapist. Stretching is never to be done static. It is called as dynamic stretching. There is a term used for it. So you go to YouTube, you will find a lot of people. And I would like to also suggest that there is a person known as Athlean X. He's a physiotherapist by profession, but he is doing very good in terms of the stretching exercises on YouTube. So you can see about him. You'll enjoy it. So even for 60 plus people, brisk walking shall be fine. But if you have knee joint problem or something like that, stick with some amount of dynamic stretching, do some amount of warm up. And if you are doing the, I can say, erratic exercises, please do more than 3 sets. Please do more than 3 sets. I'm going to write this thing. Wait. Like this person, I was following him since very long time, like before I completed my bachelor's. So that's the name. Okay, you can refer to him. He's a very nice person. Zumba is fine. So I would recommend, like, if you are doing Zumba or something like that, you have to do that in an open environment. Okay. And swimming is also very good for health. But before that, I would still recommend to walk for 15 minutes. I'm talking about walking. Please do not go on treadmill and walk. I'm talking about going outside and walking in a garden or something like that. Okay. People who stay near national park, you are allowed to go there on daily basis. There are a lot of people who are going. So that is done with the physical body. Uh, you have to write 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Simple. Now let us come to our very interesting purpose of our life, and that is finances. So finances, we'll divide this particular thing with respect to what? With respect to your IT return. Okay. This will be a very different kind of goal setting. Okay. So always be firm. Now we are going to function according to the financial year. Okay. People whom you know that you are filing your ITR and everything, you have a data with you already. People, so you just look at 3 years of your data for now. 3 years, not more than that. Even if you are filing for more time, but just look at 3 years. And the fourth year or this upcoming year, you should have goal of filing the same ITR or more than that. I'm not asking you to have a bigger goal right now. Okay. For upcoming 6 months, have considerable amount of goal that you can donate more. So for example, in 6 months time, I was going to donate about 60,000. Okay. I'm giving an example for setting a goal. 60K donation if I'm writing, then by default, I have to earn more than 6 lakhs in upcoming 6 months. That is 1 lakh a month, which is very decent amount which can be earned, right? So when I say this, many a times we feel that how will the things go right in our life and everything like that. Okay? First, you write down how much money you want to donate. Second, you write down how much money you will require to earn to donate. Okay. And third, you write down your ITR return of the previous year was this much. So when you divide, there is when you divide your ITR, suppose you have earned 10 lakhs in your previous year. So if I divide in the 6 months, it becomes 5 lakhs. So now the difference of earning is only 1 lakh. Did you get my point? Or should I repeat? I'll repeat once more. Okay. Let's say we have an IT return filed of previous years. We have known that per annum I am earning X number of rupees. So I am considering that as 10 lakhs for now. Okay. Even if you are a housewife or something like that, you do get money. That's fine. Okay. You can consider that also. Also, you can heal and you can get more opportunities. So if your ITR filed is 10 lakhs for now, you write down 10 lakhs ITR submitted already. So for upcoming 6 months, your goal is to earn one more lakh. That is to earn 6 lakhs. Because within 6 months, you are earning 5 lakhs. So now the goal is 6 lakhs. This is just 6 months goal. This is clear, right? Write that down. Now come to 1 year goal. If ITR return filed is that much, or you can also now if you are coming in the tech lab, now let's talk about the original amount of money which you are making. Black, white, all the colors, green, every color, even digital money, cryptocurrency, everything we'll talk about. So take that particular chunk, you can up the amount by 30%. So if you are earning 10 lakhs, now the amount should be 13 lakhs for upcoming year. 30% is a very achievable goal. Write it down. Now, 3 years should be at least at least 25 lakhs. So 3 years down the line, you should earn at least 25 lakhs in a year. That is how you progress. So for first 6 months, what I did is you have to just earn one more lakh. For an upcoming time, whatever the amount is, spike it up by 30%. The target is that much for now. For next time, including that 30%, your target should be up by almost 50%. And that is very achievable. Once you know the truth behind this, the way money flows, it's everything is very fine. And you are able to do wonders and wonders in this part. And then you can spike it up. So by the way, when I'm talking about compounding this part, it relates a lot of things, comes from a lot of books which have been recommended by my mentors. And among them, there is this one book. I think it should be here. वो बेबी लॉन वाला book है ना? This one. If you have not read this book, kindly order it. Read this book. You will know it. See, finances is a very basic fundamental right for everyone, and all of us should know how to manage our finances. This is very precious book for everyone to understand what are finances and how they are relatable and how much to save. Because many a times we save a lot, and sometimes someone asks for money, we give the person who returns, so our saving is gone. You know, something like that shouldn't be happening with you. So you should have a budget for that. That those are financial goals. Now write down an action. Take a new page, a fresh page, take action. In action, you have to write down first part is affirmation. You can write down the statements of affirmation which you like. So, for example, what I love to write is money is a form of energy. I am super powerful person in the entire planet. Money flows to me, like how energy flows to me. Then I say it flows to me, and I also say it flows through me, both. Because I also pay people, right? It should flow through you. Because when you pay people, you empower them. So that was my personal this part. So you can have your own affirmation or something like that. So it's more of a like there are a lot of people who have this kind of affirmations. For them, it might work, but for a lot of people, it might not work. So you can have this kind of affirmation which says that I am so blessed that I have more than 10 CR in my savings, something like that. You know, I'm so blessed that I made a profit of 60% on my mutual funds. So you can write down like I'm so happy, I'm so blessed, I'm so prosperous, I'm so abundantly blessed, something like that. You should have your keyword for that. So you keep on repeating that part. So I usually have so my sources of income when I compare that. So major chunk of source of income comes from healing. Okay, because healing is something which I love, which I do, and I'm very passionate and I'm very healing like driven about that part. That's kind of a skill. Okay, so let me describe that part to you very well, very transparently, so that you also understand what I'm trying to convey. So if my body is sick, if I'm not doing emotionally or mentally well, do you think I can heal? No. If I cannot heal, then the major chunk of my income is lost. So you have to think of building a passive source of income or an income which is not based only on your skill, which takes time. This should be your 5 years goal to build a passive income of 3 lakhs per annum. Something, a very achievable goal like that. And by the way market is looking right now, if you have money, pump it up, pump in the market. Don't invest here and there. If you don't have anybody, like I have a financial advisor and a person who takes care of my investments. I have an assigned person who takes care of that. So he does all the things for me like that. Have someone like that in your life if you are not good with your finances. And also, I also take up sessions related to mutual fund investment and financial investments. So if something like that, if you want, we can plan out a session separately for that. In terms of the whole PPT, then I have to explain it to you how much is CAGR, what is that, what amount of returns are you going to be benefited. So that is how to generate passive income. That is one part. So your affirmations should be designed in such a way that they should be very simple and very crisp. It should not be, oh, I am able to see my mom living in my bungalow in Villeparle or Juhu area, sea facing. My dad is bringing his Rolls Royce inside the house. You have to not do all those kind of things. You have to be very, very, very practical, achievable things. Things can happen. You can win a lottery and everything. But if you win a lottery also, you will be back to square one after 5 years if you are not able to sustain. So your affirmations are very personal. I'm going to help you guys to have those. If you want affirmations, there are lots and lots of people who give affirmations, but I would recommend just go to Google or go to Chat GPT, look at the affirmations what they are providing. Have your own formulated affirmations. Please have only 3 affirmations, not more than that. So in action plan, the first part is affirmation. You have to have 3 affirmation. Write it down. 3 affirmation which you have to study, research, and then you apply it. Second part is write down art of conductivity. Write down art of conductivity. In that, what will happen? What will come in the art of conductivity is your mindset. So when I say that you are able to see 10 CR in your bank account, the first thought, most of you, what you think, what you thought was, how can I have 10 CR? Doubt. So when anything like doubt or fear comes in, the art of conductivity through you, the conductivity of the energy or conductivity of money through you vanishes. So in art of conductivity, you write down remove. Write down in the bold letters you remove. Remove all the doubts and fear related to become prosperous. Okay. Now in art of conductivity, you have written this. What will be an action plan for this? You know what? Be mindful. Write this down. Okay. Be mindful of your thoughts, words, and actions on rich people around the globe. I'll give you a small example towards this. The main hurdle, what comes in our life, is via criticism. So when I say that you guys criticize a lot, what do I really mean by that? I mean to say, if Ambani wanted that kind of wedding, he did it. Who are you to comment? Ambani wanted a wedding for his son like that. A lot of people did a lot of criticism, including including few people whom I know who went to attend their weddings and they are coming and they're criticizing. And they are criticizing on what? They're criticizing on it was not necessary to be so extravagant. And when their sons got married, when I was invited, they spent more than 15 CR on the wedding. So I thought like, why are you behaving like that? If he's spending 15,000 CR, you are spending 15 CR. So still your guys are spending so much. And then the doubt came in me. And then when I saw my family, what they wanted to spend on the wedding, I was like, okay, even I'm not entitled to criticize them at all because it's their wish. We cannot say anything. First and foremost, stop criticism for every rich person. There are a lot of people who have this lot of feeling that capitalism has taken over, something has happened. Gautam Adani is like that, Ambani is like that, Tata is such a philanthropist kind of firm. No, everyone there are capitalist. They're doing their work. If you have a problem, become a capitalist. What's stopping you from becoming another successful person on the planet? You don't possess things what they possess. That's the reason why you are envious. You are jealous. And then you sit and cry that they are harming Mother Nature so much. They are doing so many things. This is happening, that is happening. Don't criticize. That criticism is going to lead to inaction behavior. That inaction behavior in you will lead to lack of conductivity. That lack of conductivity will lead to lack of prosperity. This is very, very, very. Many of us, we criticize people here and there just like that. Like, even I used to, the moment I came to different places, when I used to travel different places in India, I saw a big shift, and that shift, which I was not able to contemplate, and that was the more I went outside Bombay in any other city, the more people I saw were flaunting their wealth. Because when you are in Bombay, there is no reason to flaunt a wealth. You know why? Because till now, the roads have been dug up where the places you stay. So your Rolls Royce cannot even move on road. You have to take a cab, or you have to take a metro, or you have to go by train. So what happens? Bombay humbles you. That was my theory. Of course, because in Bombay there is one more factor, that if you think you are rich, there is someone who is more rich than you. There is someone else who is more bigger than you. And in other cities, it's not a problem. It's not like that. So maybe I saw that part and I was like, why are they flaunting over this part? And these many of them are belonging to generational wealth or ancestral wealth. Don't question. You try to analyze, and then you try to find answers. And then if you don't find answer, don't overthink on that part. You just let go. Why? You think what back of your mind happens, you think you feel envious that you were not given any generational wealth. A lot of you who are females have this kind of problem, that we were not given any part of our properties coming from our ancestors. Why? And when I say that, it hurts, okay, to a lot of people, but that is also because of other females in your family. It's not because something else. Because females were not supporting females back in that day. Still, they are not supporting. So that is how the things work, and that is how the deep, 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 all these kind of anti-prosperity thoughts and emotions are embedded into your system. We have to remove that. And by what? Doing what? By doing this. The last part is visualization. Write down visualization. In visualization, there is one part. So in first part, you write energy, okay, and leave it. I'll explain that too later. Second is visualize. So when I say visualize, you feel, you feel that thing properly happening. Close your eyes and let it flow like a picture in front of you, or you behave in that manner, something like that. Okay, then when I say you behave, so you just don't go buying on certain things. Okay, you behave. Many a times it is good to visualize good things, and I would recommend you to go at a very prosperous place. So there is this thing. So when I have some meetings related to finances and properties or something like that, then I usually arrange meetings in five-star hotels. We never meet in Udupi Cafe or something like that. We meet in five-star hotels. All these kind of people, the important people, they meet in five-star hotels. You know the reason behind it? The reason is not money. The reason is the ambience and the energy. The energy of this places is totally different. So I would always recommend that you should go one time to at least once in a month to a five-star hotel or something like that. Go sit, chill, have a coffee. $700 are not going to pinch you. Understand that. Think about it. So that is one part what to do. And in terms of energy, if you really want to be prosperous, you bless people with prosperity. How to do that? Do regular twin hearts meditation, do regular grid invocation. The prosperity will flow to you. Simple. It's interesting, by the way, what I'm saying. So that is how you are going to manage finances part. Okay. So now we are done with physical finances, and relationships. There is this last one, like you can have different goals, but now you know how to formulate goals, okay? The last one is spirituality, spiritual goal. So when I say about spiritual goal, your goals should be very, very, very crisp. So let me give you an example. Your goal should not be, I want to become Paramahansa in this lifetime. I want to achieve this part. I want to do this or that. No, not like that. Your goals should be like, I would like to become a better person and work on my anger energies. Something like that. Your goals should be for upcoming 6 months. I'm going to work on greed, enviousness, and jealousy. Your spiritual goal should be short. But the vision, so the 5 years down the line, the vision, suppose you are from the Aratic school, then the vision should be level 3. 6 years down the line, level 3. Something like that. So you should have that vision. And then you reanalyze your vision properly. Go to like 5 years, 6 years down the line, if you want level 3, then for before that, 2 years before that, you have to have level 2. Then 4 years down the line, you should have level 2. A year before that, that is 3 years from now, you should have level 1. So if I want to have level 1, I should start applying from now, because not necessarily everything might happen at one go. You might be in level 1 for 2 years, or you might be in level 2 for 3 years, or more than that. And hence, in order to achieve that, you start your preparation from today. Have an action plan towards spirituality. There are two action plans in spirituality. First is internal, second is external. External action plan is nothing but service or the projects which you take. In that projects, there is group work which comes in, which teaches you again how to become tolerant, how to spread love, and how to practice Srinath's meditation very efficiently. Simple. I think the spiritual goals are something which you are supposed to set on yourself, but also have one more goal with the spiritual goal, and that is your lifestyle goal. So, so for me, I would say that initially for me, the lifestyle goal was to travel in first class. So in flights, when there is first class, I want to travel in first class every time when I go or wherever I go. If I'm going with my parents or with my wife, I want to go in first class, something like that. That's might be a very limited goal or something like that. But it is a very difficult goal for me. I'll tell you the reason behind it. And the reason is the tickets are costing about 70,000 if I'm flying from like 55,000 to 70,000 if I'm flying from Bombay to Delhi. Okay. And I fly very frequently. So if they are costing about 55 to 70,000, I might have adjusted in 5,000 rupees ticket in economy class, and rest money I could have donated. I think always in that direction. So that was my limitation, because many a times, I feel that okay, I should give, I should give, I should give, I should give. But because money is very easy for me to give, that doesn't work for my spiritual evolution. If given a choice, I would keep my mouth shut and chill. What is more difficult for me is to speak, to contemplate, to formulate a lecture and do this. So then this becomes more important part of my life as service as compared to tithing. If given a choice, I would have settled down in Himachal, stayed in some place in Himalayas, you know, rented a house, 10,000 rupees bucks, and just cooked my own food, did some healings on daily basis, and chilled. Simple. I would not be doing all these kind of things. I'm doing this. It's not because I want people to know and learn and something like that. But deep down, I have understood that a lot of us are stuck. I don't want any of you guys to be stuck, because I was stuck. And I tried my level best. I didn't ask for help. I didn't got any help because I didn't ask. And when I started asking, many a times the people, they didn't receive my calls at that time. So if I want to ask for help right now, I call you up and you don't receive. Okay. After 2 hours, if you call back, I won't ask for help. Why? Because now I'm settled down. I have figured out things by myself. And I always figured out wrong things. So that was my problem. And because of that, I don't want you guys to suffer by any means. You have to have a particular goal, particular lifestyle. You should know that where to reach. But when you are in alignment, these goals should be refurbished every time. So you have to refurbish your goals, or you have to look at your goals at least once in a week. That is very, very, very important. Okay. Understand, there are three things which you have to keep in alignment. First and foremost is your life and your sanity. That includes your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, like your emotional health, mental health, and your physical health. Okay. That is first and foremost your sanity. Second, and like the most important thing for now, for human evolution purposes, is to understand law of karma, law of manifestation, law of materialization, law of mercy and kindness, law of correspondence, causation and correlation, and law of attraction. All these laws are standardized law, but law of karma is something which you have to learn properly. The next step is to apply that properly in your life, to refurbish it, and then to go ahead. No one on this planet is going to tell you what to do. So stop asking people to, you know, tell me what should I do, what should I do. There is this instance where I asked someone, one of my mentors, that I'm stuck here, and my mentor is not from medical background, so he does not get it. Like whenever I say, so I had a huge debate with him because he said that COVID happened because the people died in COVID because only of fear, because there was nothing called as virus or something like that. Said something stupid in my eyes, and that was one of his biggest mistakes. So then I started yelling at him. And I was like, "You are not allowed to say that. Did you experience the amount of deaths what I experienced? This happened, that happened." And I shouted, I kept on babbling, babbling, babbling. And then later on, he said to me that, "Do you really think that virus was there or something like that?" He still didn't got it. He's still living in that kind of illusion. But then there is no use of me speaking anything to him. Understand? People in your life, you are not going to be helped by a single person ever for everything, except your guru. Okay. So many a times when you are stuck, you look at the person who can help you. Like you cannot ask financial advice from a sannyasi, right? You have to have that kind of balance things in your life. You cannot ask financial advices from a person who is poor. He might be able to give you, but the probability of that is very low. That is the reason why banks give money to people who are prosperous. They get loans. You don't. Simple. By the way, loans also get waived off. To 22,000 loan, 22,000 CR loan was waived off of one of the biggest person in India. In 22,000 CR, there are a lot of farmers' life could have been saved if their loans were waived off, right? But did that happen? No. Then what changes or what steps did you take on a personal level to make that happen? The problem is that firstly, you are stuck with your own self. You are not able to bring the changes in your life. And secondly, you're criticizing the system, you're criticizing the society, but there is no input by you in the society, or there is no amount of, I can say, uh, involvement in any kind of projects or in any kind of action to improvise society. Understand, spirituality is not only meditating, not only healing, but taking an action. I'm an occupational therapist. I'm proud to be an occupational therapist, but I am very sad when I see that even my fellow occupational therapists, my colleagues, they are struggling. They're struggling with the quality of life. They're struggling because many a times we gave our 100% to the patient, and one seizure or one attack of any type, like maybe stroke or something else, the patient is gone. Our hard work for 1 year is gone. We are sad. Many a times many a times I tell to so many of my friends, like, how do we cope up with this fact? So when I see a lot of kids with ADHD, autism, and with different types of disorders, kids, when we are treating them, it takes a lot of time for us to see any kind of changes. So there is no quantitative feedback what we receive. And that is one part that I am proud to be called as an occupational therapist, because that profession has taught me how to be a very patient and a tolerant person, irrespective of all kind of nuisance which is going on. Even if chaos is going on, still I am able to focus on one point. That is what I have been taught, because there are times when I was very low. And few of my friends who are here right now, they helped me out. And I'm very grateful for that because I received that help whenever the time was right. You will also receive help whenever the time is right. Many a times when you don't receive the help, that means you have to grow, evolve, and show God that, okay, yes, I can do it. And I will do it. Simple. Don't beg in front of God. Have some self respect. But for that, you have to do the goal setting, practice law of karma of respect. So your day starts from there. Another part of generating good karmas, I can say, is teaching or nurturing people. So, for example, how this session is happening, there is this class of achieving oneness with higher soul. Everyone knows, and people who have done Aratic, they know, okay, what is this, what is that. And in that class, you are taught that why your family is why your family, why your friends are why your friends, why are you, something like that. So it's always advisable for people who are seeking something to, if you really want to help someone, then you can encourage them to do workshop of achieving oneness with higher soul. And that's marvelous because many a times I used to bring sponsorships for people who wanted to do the class, and the people who were sponsoring, they generated a lot of good karmas. And people who have done the class, so then they don't like, obviously they want to pay back, but then these people used to tell them that you sponsor three more people. You bring three good people whom you think you should sponsor. There is a discernment involved in sponsorship. You are not sponsoring everybody and anybody like that. So this is how you spread the work. This is how you spread twin hearts. If you want to really spread twin hearts, then do twin hearts. It will be spread. Now, last but not least is blessings. So you have to direct energy in a specific way. The way we did our sessions of grid invocation, that was the same way you will direct the energies to your goals. Think about that happening with you. It's interesting, right? So with that, let us conclude. That I think Tattvamasi also might have. Tattvamasi has any upcoming workshop of sort this weekend. That's already good. So if you guys are in where it is the workshop, Delhi. If you guys are in Delhi, you can recommend people for that. Please send the details in the of the workshop. So let us close, and then I'm going to stay back to answer everyone. Okay. So let's do a closing prayer. Keep your hands on your heart. Salutation to the Supreme Being. Salutation to Divine Father, Divine Mother. Thank you for this marvelous blessings. Thank you for this amazing clarity. Thank you for everything what you've given to us. Thank you. The help and blessings of our Guru, the help and blessings of Grandmaster Chua Foxy, Lord Mahatma Guruji meaning on the great greatness. To the hierarchy, to Master Moria, to Holy Master DK, we salute you. Laws of karma, thank you. We express our gratitude. Thank you. With thanks and full faith. So be it, so be it, so be it. Take a deep breath. Thank you. Done. So now we are open for question and answers. Okay, there is one question. You struggle with the consumer culture. Even I used to struggle a lot with that. I really hated that. I'm kind of a hippie at heart kind of a person. I am really very minimalistic kind of a person, and I really hate to see so many things. I used to. So now I have made peace with that part. And I now also have known that, see, there are natural resources, they do exist for. So this statement of this is given to me by my one of my very good friend. His name is Melvin. He's from Goa in Bombay, but now he's living in Ratnagiri, and he's a permaculturist. So he's a very active Arahatic yogi and spreading the work very aggressively. So he used to tell me that he used to look at my eyes and he used to tell, Janmesh, Mother Earth is very compassionate. She has everything to satisfy our needs, but not everything to satisfy our greeds and desires. And I used to say that have always been very against capitalism and all these things. You are saying this because, all these things are happening. But then later on, I started realizing that what he's saying is truth because many a times we overdo things. So instead of focusing on others, we can focus on ourselves. So for example, it takes about 25 liters of water to make a shirt. How many clothes do you have? How many clothes did you overshop? How much food do you waste? How many things do you do? Interesting. Think about yourself first. And then if you really want to do something, then come up with a project in order to inspire people. But in order to do that, you should be rich. So when you look at Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk also, even Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs was not that rich according to me. The Apple companies, another like there are few early investors of Apple company, they are billionaires. So when you look at them, they are wearing normal clothes. If they wear normal clothes, it's inspiration. But if you wear normal clothes, it's a disgrace. If Shah Rukh Khan comes with a shorts or something like that, he still looks pretty, right? Like at that age, he's he's close to my father's age, and he's still attractive. The way he looks, the way he walks, he has a kind of a personality and a kind of energy, that is not there in you. First, you build up the energy, and then you can dress however you want, because then you are not affected by that. That's the reason why Master has a very specific things, in his life where he says that you have to dress appropriately. He never says you have to dress with expensive suits or something like that. So it's usually like that. You guys are not able to unmute yourself or what? Oh, sorry. You can unmute yourself. Yes, Shri Shah, you can.
Yeah, Namaste, Janmesh.
Namaste.
Yeah, so you were saying, right, like maybe instead of economy class, I want to go in the first class.
Mm.
So actually, the point which you mentioned, maybe I choose to go in economy and donate amount, right? So actually, that is more. I mean, actually, it is more effective, right? Because instead of using your resources yourself, you can donate to others.
No, no, that's the thing I'm saying now. Then you scan and see. Because many a times that happens, and when I scanned and see and I realized, oh, it doesn't work like that. Because for me, giving money is easy. Things what are easy
Mhm.
for you to do is something you have to come from your comfort zone out and do something which is not easy for you to do.
Mhm.
Always remember that. Yeah, of course, you can donate. So you donate how much Master has told us? 10%. You don't
10%.
simple.
Okay.
Janmesh, you have questions?
Just
Um,
one by one, one by one. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Shishir, you want to add anything or say anything?
I mean, so maybe like beyond that, so that we can use our needs. So that's what you are trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also we have to this this is a strong thought form, okay? You have to break one thought form and you have to be very comfortable with money. If you are
Hmm.
rich, simple. Doesn't matter. And that is what I have learned from my Marwadis and Gujarati friends. Yeah, like मतलब they might be wearing anything, but ऐसा उनको हिलाएंगे 2-3 लाख रुपए ऐसे ही निकलता है. Those kind of people I'm talking about. So पता ही नहीं चलता ये आदमी इतना अमीर है करके. And when I went to that guy's house, I was like, you stay here. His house was worth more than 12 CR. That also in area of Kandivali in Bombay. And I was like, wow, bro. It's like that. Yes, Shashi ji, आप बोलिए.
yeah. So you, in the beginning, you had said the goal number one is this book should be full by the end of the year.
Yeah, full. Yes.
Yeah. So exactly what are we filling in?
Action plans. You have
And
to
what
write
you've
down the
achieved?
action plans. Because what happens is that the action plan, what you are going to design, not every action is going to work for you. So you know how which actions do not work for you. So you refurbish it and then you write it again.
Okay.
You refurbish
Okay.
your goals, you write it again. Simple. So I would recommend write down your goals every no moon day. New
Okay.
no moon day.
So
Right?
these goals are related to your relationship
Every
and gratitude and karma
yeah.
and all those physical body goals and everything.
Yes.
So every 15, 20 days, we are going to go through it again.
Yeah. Go through it, refurbish it because there will be a lot of things which will be achieved very fast. For example,
Okay.
relationship goals are like should to be achieved within 21 days. And people who have been doing grid invocation, they know what kind of difference that had caused in relationships also. So yeah, that's how it works. Because understand this, the energy flows very fast. So these goals will manifest fast. So then you need to be ready with the new goals.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Which book? Hmm. The Richest Man in Babylon, George S. Clason. Okay, this is the book. Wait, I'll write it down. If meanwhile, if anyone wants to mute and unmute yourself and speak, you can ask anything. Yes, Prabha is typing very fast. Yes. Yes, someone reanalyze in full moon. No, no moon. अमावस की रात आप बैठो अपने पुस्तक के साथ अंधेरे में अकेले. I don't say I'm just kidding, but no moon day is kind of a good way. You know that you when you are at low, when you don't have much energy, and then you are able to think little bit practically. That's why. Yes. Did you guys enjoy this session? Like, did this flare up things in you? Like, you really want to analyze things and do things right? Okay. Okay. Wait. Let me open the group. People started switching. Thank you here. Okay. Oh, that is open. Okay, it's open. Yeah. Hi, Janmesh. Will it be possible to conduct a soul workshop virtually in near future? Ah, so there is a criteria by WPHF, and WPHF says that you have to conduct, like you have to have a minimum number. If that number is fulfilled and if the trainer is free, then we can, because there are only few trainers who have been authorized to take that. Please don't call me sir, and please say thank you in the group. It will be much beneficial for me to keep a track. By the way, guys, I have been telling you guys that I'm planning for mass healings. So yes, by tonight or tomorrow, we'll be sharing all the details regarding that. So you can opt in. Only people who are really interested, please opt for that. If you do not wish to work on yourself that efficiently or that fast, if you think that you want to take things very slowly or something like that, depends on you, but you have to rethink when I say that I'm any which ways in that program, I'm going to give you certain exercises, certain homeworks, which you have to do. So you have to be ready. And also, you might feel that I'm very compassionate in the group sessions and everything, but when it comes to one, if I don't see progress, you need someone to give you a reality check. I'll be compassionate on that part, but yes, you need to give a reality check. And this is just one lifetime. You are not allowed to waste it. This is not your life because you are influencing so many people around. By your behavior, if your guru is being getting affected, then yes, you have to transform. You don't have an option. If you are willing to hear all these kind of things, then please register to the upcoming mass healing sessions. And they will be very private, okay? Like I'll be also having one-to-one discussions and sessions with people so that we'll get to know. And I'll also try to give away things which I know and do some group energy work
I have,
to empower people.
hey, hi Janmesh. I have one question.
Mhm.
Uh, like, it was eye opener for me, a meaning of when you touched upon the point, right? Criticism.
Mhm.
So sometimes, for example, so there is a thin line, right? Sometimes parents do criticize their children, uh, or someone else. I mean, in day-to-day life, that becomes so uh, obvious, like we forget what is criticism and what is it becomes a, I mean, it's a very normal, you will say, you will basically, you will express your view about something, right? Something is going on, as you mentioned about Aman is wedding or anything, whatever is happening, but everybody wants to express in some or the other way, and that becomes a criticism. Is it like that?
Something like that. But also the intention behind the criticism should be pure if you are really criticizing that. And also, do you really think that your criticism is being heard first and
Sometimes,
foremost?
not always, but sometimes it is.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
if it is necessary, then you speak only that amount of time. So, for example, there is this person who is very close relative of mine, and she's a pain sometimes, sometimes,
Mhm.
not every time. So, because she speaks so much that she predicts 100 things, and among them, two things manifest or happen, she says, "देखा मैंने बोला था ये होगा." So,
Hmm.
that kind of things happens. Of course, it annoys me also many times, and I'm like,
Got
you are saying
it.
100 things, and among them, only two. The probability of you being right is very low. So
Correct.
always learn to be very accurate. Speak. If you have spoken 5 times and among that 2 times you have been corrected, like it's right, then that means that okay, it's worth it.
Hmm. For
Simple.
example, I'll give you one example, right? Like my mom, she will usually, no matter how much time I will request her, right? Do this, do that, because she's most of the time she's not well, she's on dialysis. So she'll not listen to what she should eat or not, So sometimes that criticism also comes because if she's not ready to listen, that what to do, then sometimes you criticize, then she'll feel hurt. So criticism is not intended, but then sometimes you're not you I mean sometimes I become frustrated how to handle you know that way. So but now I realize when you mentioned that, I think it was happening much, and these days I think I seriously thought you have taken this session for me only. That criticism part. And usually like I am not able to attend your class today. My one call got cancelled.
That's nice.
I thought let it be, let me get into it, and I'll contemplate on this and try to, uh,
Yeah.
definitely.
So for criticism, I would like to recommend this part, and I have tried and tested. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so so it's your mom, okay? And for parents, and I'm like, you have to always be compassionate, even if they are not listening to us, if they are spuking at us, or spitting on us, even slapping us, it's fine.
Everything done, Janmesh,
Yeah,
compassionate
of course,
everywhere. But
of course,
after
but
that,
and not in terms of compassion, not in terms of like showing it. I'm not talking about that compassion at all.
okay, okay, got it.
I'm talking about thinking, only in thinking, okay?
Yeah,
So
thinking compassion.
this particular thing which actually matters is when you speak that if
Mm-hmm.
this medicine won't be taken by you, then you speak the obvious thing, the obvious statement. You won't get been healed or you won't be treated. एक दिन ऐसा होएगा तो ऐसा मतलब तुम चले जाओगे ऐसा, all those kind of things. When we speak, instead of that, we can use different words. So, for example, like if you don't take this medicine, it will be very difficult for you to watch TV or something like that. You refurbish your statement. Because many times when you are practicing, when you are doing Finhouse meditation, your energy and thoughts are very strong.
Hmm.
Criticize,
Got
it tends to
got
manifest.
got it.
Because, by the way, negativity manifests faster than the
Hmm.
positivity.
Got it. Got it.
So,
But
you have to
thank
have
you, Ramesh. This was really helpful. Thank you so much. And I have to practice this 100%. This criticism part.
this. Please do that.
Thank you.
Because even I used to feel so much irritated, and like when I used to take care of my grandparents, I used to be like, you have to just eat one medicine. That is also like two medicines in a day. For that also you are making faces. So then, then I used to tell them that if you make faces, you're not going to get XYZ.
Hmm.
Dinner I'm
Right.
going to cook or something like that.
Right.
Because
Right.
they like my cooking. So many a times, I say that you want to eat this, I'm going to cook this, you have your medicines, then we'll see.
Hmm.
Be mature. He said, mature. And then my grandparents, like they are still in the body, so they get irritated when someone tells that they are old, and like they are not old, to be more precise. They might be 80, but the
Hmm.
amount of workout they do on a daily basis is too high. My grandfather is 85. He walks almost 7 kilometers a day.
Wow. Got
So
it.
he walks 14 kilometers to and fro right now also, and he
So
does
we
all.
can't actually we can't call him old. He's right.
He's not like that. So, when I see that and I say that you are doing everything, and then I tell him कि अरे कितने लोगों को सेवा करना है आपको, अगर आप एक गोली आपका क्या बिगाड़ेगी? When I
Hmm.
say all these that kind of things, they're like हाँ बराबर है. मतलब अपने लिए नहीं, दूसरों के लिए खा लो, अपने बच्चे के लिए खा लो. आपको देखना चाहते हैं अभी. Then I say that my kids want to see you. My kids will get married. You will be coming. We will be coming there. I
Right.
spoke in that direction. The best part to always be compassionate is sense of humor.
Mhm.
Sense of humor is something which you should have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank
practice
you.
on that, guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you so much.
sure, sure. Okay. Yes, someone was saying something.
Doctor, I totally get what she was saying,
Yes, I know.
and you know the
Of,
reason.
of course,
I
Anand.
totally get it what she was saying, like, how sick parents, it's so difficult. I totally get her.
And you also get all the times when I speak of all these things. You get all first-hand experiences by me.
Yeah, like, I'm like, when you were saying like mass healings, and I'm very direct and all. So, like, back of my mind, I said yes.
Yeah,
I
because
really, I missed that part.
mm,
Really.
she's my neighbor, and I used to do her mom's healing, and on regular basis, and she's also AY practitioner, so she knows when I'm very direct. I'm very direct. It's like I'm standing with a whip in my hand. I'm like, "Sure,
Literally, literally.
yes, that's fine." Sometimes it's needed. There's this term called as ruthless compassion. You have to be ruthless from outside, when you show compassion from inside. So that's how it works. So yes, anybody, anything, or should we go? I hope you guys enjoyed this session,
Yes.
and also learn to be prosperous. If you are prosperous, then 90% of the things will be taken care of. Like back of your mind, you won't be in in money, 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 all those things. You have other things to do. Be independent. Prosperity gives you independence. Independence of time. That is how it works. Okay. So see you guys. Namaste. Hope to see you prosperous. See you soon. Please call me Janmesh Jui. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Mm.